What's up? Welcome on into the George on Tap live show. What's on tap in sports today? As always, this is brought to you by Rebet. If you use promo code on tap, you'll be able to get up to $100 bonus on your first deposit. They match whatever you put in. And the cool thing about Rebet is it is a brand new app that is actually available in 46 out of 50 states. You can actually sports gaming made social, and you can use real money and actually win real money on this. So like it's actually a sports betting app for people in California, Texas, Washington State, where you can't bet on apps. So make sure you use promo code on tap to get that bonus and sign up for Rebet. And now let us get on to the show. So last night, Aaron Rodgers looked like simply Aaron Rodgers. Everything about him looked like Aaron Rodgers. The way he threw the ball, the way he conducted the offense, and even his reaction to head coach Robert Salah. Robert Salah went in for a hug. Aaron Rodgers pushed him and gave him a death stare. His body language is still the same body language. And that death stare was basically saying, hey, we haven't won yet. It's not time to celebrate. So Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron freaking Rodgers. He's really, really good. And it gives you hope as a Jets fan. If you are a Jets fan, I'm not, but I do love narratives and I do love stories. And this is one of the best stories we've seen in a long time. If Aaron Rodgers is able to take this New York Jets football team, this New York Jets franchise to the playoffs. I think they have the longest active streak in American sports without a playoff appearance. Yesterday, they beat the New England Patriots for the first time in over a decade. It felt like an exorcism. They were able to get out those demons of the New England Patriots. Everything about how the Jets played looked absolutely fantastic. He spread the ball around. I mean, this whole year we thought it was going to be Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. I think 10 different receivers caught passes for the New York Jets. I'm going to just double confirm that for you guys. But I think 10 different receivers caught passes for the Jets. Maybe I'm wrong. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different receivers caught passes for the Jets. Braylon Allen looks like he's a stud from Wisconsin. He had more yards on the ground than Breece Hall yesterday. Aaron Rodgers is back, and Aaron Rodgers looks good. He looked like a conductor yesterday. 27 for 35, 285 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He did take 2 sacks, but one thing that I loved about it, I know he wasn't running around like crazy, but 3 rushes for 18 yards and an 11-yard run after a torn Achilles, and he was running to the right, and it looked like people were like, all right, looks like Aaron Rodgers might be back. Aaron Rodgers might actually be back and ready to play football at a high level. And then you go and look at the Jets schedule afterwards, and you're like, what is this team going to be able to accomplish in the long run? And I'm going to share my screen here and show you the New York Jets schedule. And they're 2-1 right now. And I thought this division was going to be a little bit harder because I thought the Dolphins were going to be good, but we don't know when Tua's going to come back. So their quarterback situation is that you can eliminate one playoff team from my AFC predictions, and that's the Miami Dolphins. Now, I'm going to give you guys, before we go through the schedule, the good news and bad news. They lost to a good 49ers team. I know they're so injured now that they don't look like a good 49ers team, but they're a good 49ers team. And they narrowly beat the Titans and they beat the Patriots. 2 teams that no one is going to be talking about other than who's their next top 5 pick they're going to be taking after the season. But I like to go first quarterback matchup and second team matchups. They're going to beat the Broncos and go 3-1 at home. Vikings in London. Look, I don't know how good Sam Darnold is, but you still like that matchup for them, right? You rather have Aaron Rodgers than Sam Darnold. Let's say they go 4-1 and then they lose to the Bills at home to go 4-2 on Monday Night Football. And let's say they go to Pittsburgh and lose to the Steelers on Sunday night because it's Sunday Night Football and it's the Steelers. Now they're 4-3. And they beat the Patriots to go 5-3. They lose to the Texans to go 5-4. At the Cardinals, let's say they lose that game. They're now 5-5. They beat the Colts and they beat my Seahawks. I love my Seahawks, but if I was at home, I'd be picking the Seahawks. They're 7-5. At Dolphins, they win. They're 8-5. At 8-5, they have to go to Miami. No, sorry, they're already there. At the Jaguars, I think the Jaguars are going to be better by that time. It'll be 8-6. They're going to beat a broken Rams team, 9-6. Bills, let's say they go 10-7. That's a playoff team. And that's what I think they are. They're a 10-7, 11-6 team. If they win one of those games that I just mentioned, maybe they do go 11-6. Aaron Rodgers is back. If you're a New York football fan or a New York Jets fan, you should be happy. It's the same old Rodgers, making the plays, making people look weird, having bad body language. Everything about Aaron Rodgers that you like and everything you dislike about him all appeared yesterday on Thursday Night Football. What's on tap? Let's talk about Shohei Ohtani. My God. What was that performance yesterday by Shohei Ohtani? Forget it. Like, he set baseball history twice in one game. We'll start off with the first thing he said. He invented the 50-50 club. Shohei Ohtani basically said, man, I need elbow surgery this year, and I'm not going to be able to pitch. I'll just create a new club called the 50-50 club. He had 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases. There's still like 10 games left in the season, guys. He might get to 55 and 55. It's going to be a little hard because I think he's at 51 home runs. He needs 4 home runs in his next 10 games. But regardless, it's unbelievable. And they clinched a playoff berth. We're going to be able to watch Shohei Ohtani in the playoffs play baseball. And if we have a Yankees versus Dodgers World Series, ratings are going to be through the roof. Baseball is back, plain and simple. And if you're a baseball fan or were a baseball fan or becoming a baseball fan, this is exactly what the sports needs. They need a superstar like this. And I don't know what happened with the betting scandal, whether his friend stole $16 million from him or he illegally wired $16 million and his friend took the blame for it. He had elbow surgery. He's on a new team. I know same city basically, but new team. Just everything this year should have been harder for Ohtani. Instead, he's created baseball history and started a 50-50 club. But not just that. Shohei yesterday did something no player in Major League Baseball has done in their career, other than the 50-50. Since RBIs became an official stat in 1920, only one Major League Baseball player has ever had, over the course of his entire career, not in a single game, a game with 10 plus RBIs, a game with 6 plus hits, a game with 5 plus extra base hits, a game with 3 home runs, a game with 2 stolen bases. In their entire career, no one's ever done that except one player, and that's Shohei Ohtani. And guess what? He did it all in one game. All of it. That whole entire stat line has never been done in Major League Baseball history. He did it all in one game. That is the most absurd thing I've ever seen. And I'm not saying this is going to happen, but just imagine if Ohtani's elbow is starting to feel better. And it's game 7 of a World Series against the New York Yankees. Bases loaded. Dodgers up 2 runs. 2 outs. Bottom of a 9th inning. Aaron Judge is up to bat. I mean, could his arm get 1 batter out? I don't know. I'm not saying he can do it. I'm not saying he's going to do it. But dang, that would be a great story. And then go show his DraftKings slip that he bet on the Dodgers to win the World Series. I'm kidding about that. But really the thing with Shohei Ohtani is he's really something we have never seen in the history of baseball. And I dare to say it, I think the Dodgers will win the World Series this year. He will get his first ever World Series title. He's still young. Shohei Ohtani is the greatest baseball player we have ever seen. I know, but there's Babe Ruth fans out there who think maybe Babe is better than him. And maybe he was. I didn't see him. So I'm telling you, Shohei Ohtani is the greatest baseball player we have ever seen. Enjoy it, embrace it, and have fun with it because this doesn't come around very often. All right, what's on tap? I just want to talk about the three best games on the NFL schedule this weekend. Usually, the last 2 weeks, I've been doing like what you have to watch in the NFL, three best games, and they're all like, oh, um, Sunday night football, Monday night football, and another game. But this week, it's not like that, believe it or not. We got some games that are around the schedule that are not just Monday night, Sunday night games that are better than the Sunday night, Monday night games. So we're going to start off with game number one, the Dallas Cowboys versus the Baltimore Ravens. Two teams desperate to win right now. They both need a win now, not later, now. The Cowboys, I think, can afford a loss a little bit more than the Ravens, but the Ravens can't go 0-3. They cannot, under any circumstance, go 0-3 because they'd probably have to go, 10 in. That would leave them 14 games. They'd have to probably go 10-3, 10-4 the rest of the way to make the playoffs. 0-3 is almost like an impossible mountain to climb. That's something, if you're a Ravens fan, you should be absolutely like nervous, scared, not sure what you're going to do about it. It's a scary situation for them and their fan base. Can't lose that. The Cowboys, on the other hand, you could go 1-2 after this offseason where you brought back Mike McCarthy after he won 12 games, years in a row. You re-signed Dak to a historic contract. You signed CeeDee Lamb to a historic contract. You had that disaster of a game against the Saints last week, which ended up putting you guys at 1-1. And now you're going to have to go and play the Ravens. If you go 1-2, luckily, the Eagles in that division in general don't look as strong as we thought they might. So the Cowboys would be able to recover from it, but it would be a disaster for Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. The second game I want to talk about in the second, these are in no particular order really, but I think the Cowboys Ravens are first, is the Eagles and Saints. This is the reason for this to me is a lot of different things. One, I think the Eagles are in a little bit like the Cowboys, in a little bit of desperation mode, and for different reasons. Their reasoning is because their fan base seems like they hate the head coach, and the players don't seem to necessarily love the head coach. Jalen Hurts has not looked good after an offseason when they're like, oh, Jalen Hurts did not throw any interceptions in training camp. Well, he's been throwing interceptions and turning over the ball quite a bit right now. And the Saints go 3-0. But it's so crazy because we always were talking about the NFC South being like the worst division in the whole entire NFL. You have the Buccaneers are 2-0. You have the Saints are 2-0. You got the 1-1 Falcons, who really looked really good against the Eagles on Monday Night Football. So you wonder, like, is this division as bad as it is? I don't think so. Where the Saints are as good as they've looked, probably not. But if they go 3-0, we have to really take them seriously. And the third game is an actual Sunday Night Football game, Chiefs and Falcons. I mean, anytime Patrick Mahomes is on Sunday Night Football and Falcons, after what that game ended up, this is a huge game for Atlanta. They need to keep pace with this division, which I can't believe I'm saying. I mean, and after this game, the Falcons are going to be in a lot better situation, as we think, right? When we looked at their schedule before the season started, it's like, wow, this is the easiest schedule ever. But now they got the Chiefs, Saints, Buccaneers, like all good teams before they play Panthers, Seahawks, my Seahawks, good team. At Buccaneers, good team. Cowboys, good team. At Saints, right now the Saints look like a good team. At Broncos, okay, not a good team, but it's still in Denver, mile high altitude. Versus Chargers, good team. At Vikings, playing good. At Raiders, they just beat the Ravens. Then Giants, Commanders, and Panthers. At least the end of the season for them ends up in a little bit of a different situation to where they can, rack up some wins. And as far as the Kansas City Chiefs go, the Chiefs are 2-0, but they haven't necessarily looked good being 2-0. Travis Kelce looks like a shell of himself. I know what he's doing. They'll get to the playoffs and he needs to be good for 4 or 5 weeks, and he will be good for 4 or 5 weeks. But Patrick Mahomes had his maybe worst game of his whole entire career last week, and they won. So It's going to be interesting. I kind of feel like the Falcons are going to throw the kitchen sink at this game. Maybe the Falcons win this game, but I love them at +3. It's part of my free money fives. If you want to see all our bets and all our free money fives, you can go into the link in my description. It's at the Sports on Tap, and you can watch our whole betting show there. So make sure you do that. And those are the 3 most important games of the NFL week 3. So enjoy NFL Sunday. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Sports on Tap, What's on Tap, George on Tap show. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like and comment. All the clips of this show will also be available on YouTube. So make sure you follow me on YouTube as well, like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.